Hey up troops, welcome back to the Latana Army. I'm Lit and this is Fortnite Save the World, or a bit of a chat about Fortnite Save the World, because I think some quite important things are happening and there's some things that I want to talk about, I want to share with you guys, and I really want to get your comments on the situation. I think this one is going to get a ton of comments just because of the topic at hand. Now, Split Screen yesterday sent me this from Magist. So Magist actually posted this and I wanted to get the context of it. So this is what I got. I simply desire for the constant negative feedback loop to break so that we can go back to the wonderful relationship we shared with you folks at Epic a while back. So that's someone in the community that's saying that to Magist on a post. We're going to go on to Reddit and look at that in a second. But then it says, sadly, I fear this will never happen. I could literally tell everyone that we would be coming down the pipeline, but players would still find something to pick apart and vent about. This has been proven time and time again, regardless of what gets released. Now, this is quite poignant given that we've just had the Fortnite Nightmares event, that we've just got the Candy Corn LMG. I've just done a video on that just this morning, which I'm going to be editing after this one. It might even be out now by the time you're watching this. But you know, it's very poignant, this is extremely poignant, and I can actually feel a little bit of what Majesty's saying there. Now, am I saying Majesty's right or wrong? A little bit of both, really. Now, there's a guy called Ranger Carbide who's actually in another thread that's related to this as well on Reddit, which we'll go to as well. But he made a good point. He actually said that Epic Games deserve criticism, but not the toxicity. Toxicity? I can't even say the word. But you know what? I'm gonna rephrase it. Let's rephrase. Epic Games deserve the criticism, but they don't deserve the toxic comments that come with it. And I can so relate to that. Do you know what? My personal channel on Fortnite Save the World is not perfect. You know, I get things wrong. Of course I do. Do you know, I'm only human, and I didn't start this year out expecting so many eyes on me and so many subscribers. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of like giving a young person, like someone who's really young, say like who's 10 years old, giving them a really good, powerful gaming PC and saying, right, you know, make that happen. Now, they're not going to get it straight away. It's going to take time for them to learn what it does, but they've got the capacity to do it. Do you know, there are young kids out there, do you know, between 10 and 15 who are great with PCs, who are great with all the, you know, all the things around on a computer. They know all the best graphics cards, they know how to overclock stuff, they know how to work it. And I kind of feel a little bit like that's kind of how my channel was. You know, that's what this year's been like for me. It's like I've been given something extremely technical and it's like, just work it out and be perfect or we're going to come at you. And I've felt these comments as well. I'm not saying that the whole of the Fortnite Save the World community is toxic. In fact, you know, far from it. I love 99% of you guys. I think that without you guys, I wouldn't still be doing this. I would have moved on. I started out covering indie games, which is where the channel was going to go. But do you know what? I've stuck around. I got to Save the World, and because of you guys, I stuck around, because there's so many nice guys out there, and you know, so many nice people and supportive people. I get several DMs every day in Discord who I answered. You know, some of you, I'm hoping in the comments, are going to vouch for me there. I go on Twitch streams with small streamers, you know, people who want to get like 5-10 views on the streams, and I go and watch and I go and chat with them in there. Do you know what I mean? I'm in places like that a lot, and it's kind of because I think the community as a whole is fantastic. However, it does worry me a little bit just how vicious certain people can be. Do you know, I've had comments regarding weight, regarding race, regarding, do you know, my family, and it's not good, you know, and it's not productive. I get people are passionate about the game, and I love that. You know, I like how passionate people are. And there's a little bit of me sometimes where I kind of want to respond to the person, but I think you've not executed your point well enough, so I can't, you know, because you've been aggressive in your point. And you know what? Some people, when they're passionate about something, that's how they are, you know, and I've kind of had to man up a little bit and kind of just get to the point where, you know, I become a little bit less sensitive. You know, I came into YouTube as me, as I am, and do you know what? Sometimes there are things, if someone's personal towards me, and I think it would be the same for you guys, you're going to feel a little bit sensitive sometimes because it's just so unprovoked sometimes and aggressive. It's kind of like, why are you trying to, do you know, 106 gun out in a 76 area? This is disgusting. This is rubbish. Nobody watching. It's garbage. And it's kind of like, you know, I'm new as well. Just give me the feedback. I will take it. But, you know, there's no need to be so toxic. And I think sometimes I'm kind of looking at how Magist feels on this post, and I'm so feeling it, you know, I get it. And Majesty's kind of like decided to be, or I don't know if I'm sure he's been appointed by Epic to kind of be the front man of Reddit. Now, I speak to some other people who do the same job as Magist on email. I'm not going to drop the names, but do you know, I speak to other Epic staff as well, and just to have a little bit of a dialogue with them on email. I ask them a few questions because Reddit can get a bit full. I don't always want my questions going out public as well, so sometimes I want to just know, you know, they're just little things, and they're not spoilers or anything that's coming. I haven't got any extra information than what you guys have got, but sometimes it's nice having that little personal touch. But Epic Games do that, you know, and the guys who I speak to always respond. They respond within 24 hours most of the time. And you know what? There's a lot of improvements that have come to Fortnite Save the World, and I think that a lot of people overlook that. Now, does Epic Games deserve criticism? Yes, do you know they do? These things that, I think the recent thing with the explosions in Battle Royale getting fixed pretty much immediately, yeah, of course that's going to be a talking point, and I think a lot of it is because the community, whether they want to admit this or not, you know, we're men, you know, we don't always admit this kind of thing, but we're a little bit scared because we've seen what happened with Paragon, and we've seen this massive game come out, and you know what, it's a bit of a, I won't say inferiority complex, but you know, there's a little bit of we're getting left behind kind of thing, because anyway, I asked Aiden Harris yesterday, when people play the game full time and people have been here since the start of the game, you look at year one compared to now. Do you know, I played from pretty much from launch, be it slowly. I was doing other things as well. I was doing YouTube on other things, you know, so I couldn't put as much time into Save the World as what I wanted to, but I knew that I was enjoying it. Now, going back then, there was a lot of like cinematics that we had. We were kind of like the baby, you know, it's kind of like being an older brother being left out for a younger brother in a sense. That's kind of how I see the community at the moment. And I totally understand the passion that comes out of, you know, the Fortnite Save the World subreddit. I kind of think sometimes Reddit can be a little bit too powerful. Dante, for example, when he didn't get in the supporter creator program. Now, I agree with the majority of people. You know, I don't think that scam channels should be in the supporter creator content because they're not playing the game as it's meant to be played, etc. You know, but to have somebody kind of removed because, you know, there's uproar on Reddit, that's extremely powerful. Now, on one hand, it's great that Reddit's listening to the community, but you've also got to remember, not all the community is on Reddit. You know, I speak to loads of people in the Discord, there's people in my comment section, I speak to people on other streams. The whole community is not on Reddit. That's not the voice of the whole community. It's kind of like doing a survey and saying, you know, well, we asked 1% of people this question, and this 1% of people says, or even 10%, or whatever you want to call it, but still, although Reddit is a huge platform, it's still not, it's not the voice for everybody, and that kind of scares me a little bit. You know, I've actually had some really, I don't go on Reddit very often. I read it all the time because I actually love the whole feel of Reddit. I think I was probably being a little bit oversensitive sometimes to some of the comments that were on there, but then you do have some people who just go in hell for leather and they're so aggressive, and it's hard. You know, you go to bed that night and you're thinking about that comment and you're like, and I speak to the other content creators, you know, and they're like, you know, I get that as well. You know, people said that to me. Just ignore it. Who cares? You know, and but the thing is, I do, and it's hard not to, you know. And I've kind of learned, and this is recently, to kind of shrug that off a little bit. I don't let it affect me anymore. I don't reply to the comment anymore. I just kind of move on. Where at one point, I was literally at the point where I was searching my name on Reddit to see if anyone had, you know, started a witch hunt on me. That's how much it got to me at the time. And Majesty's probably feeling a little bit the same, you know, and he's kind of taking the flack. He's kind of the scapegoat in a way for the harshest community in the game. You know, the Reddit side of the community in Fortnite Save the World are gonna be the harshest. Now that's not a negative, actually. It just means that, do you know what? They're the most real. They're the most, you know, they'll just get to the point. Reddit is all about that. You know, you're not showing your face. No one knows who you are. And I'm sure a lot of the people, even the ones who put in the, you know, the race comments about me, the weight comments about me, and some of the stuff about my family and stuff on there. That's even hard to say on camera. But you know, a lot of that that's on there is because, you know, people are so passionate, and because you're not seeing the face and you're not seeing that person, they can actually just get to the point and speak. And if they are passionate about that, everyone's got the right to speak. You know, I'm not an American. I'm not all about the, you know, it's not like a big freedom of speech thing, you know, the Constitution. And I'm from the UK, but with the saying, you know, I do believe that people should say what they want and they should be free to express themselves in a way that they want, you know. But I would say, you know, if we're going to get more out of this game, the whole point of this video is this. If we're going to get more out of this game, we need to be more constructive. Now, that doesn't mean be overly nice. Like I've said webefore, and I agreed with, I've got wrote his name down here, Ranger Carbide, when I do say that, you know, Epic does deserve some criticism for Save the World. But let's work together. You know, they're doing the summit where they're actually taking people out there, where they're taking people out to South Carolina, is it? Where they're actually going to speak to content creators as well. Now, again, could Epic have done that differently? Yes. I think just taking the Twitch community is just as bad as listening to just the Reddit community. You need to take a mixture. I would have actually taken someone from Reddit. Do you know, take White Sushi, for example. Take White Sushi from Reddit. Take David Dean from YouTube. Do you know, take Alora SC, Criddle Craddle from Twitch. Maybe even get some players that aren't content creators as well, who have just, do you know, Epic have got all the stats. Do you know, we can see them all on Storm Shield 1. Just get a player who's absolutely awesome, who's got loads of stuff. Someone maybe who's got several accounts, who's, you know, maxed out the game several times, and, you know, take them as well. But get a mixture, get an absolute mixed bag and take it across. But that's a criticism, do you know, that's not me being toxic. And ultimately, I've got to remember, at the heart of all this, Epic have made an amazing game that I'm still enjoying. Again, I said on the Aiden Harris Let's Talk yesterday, I'm still loving the game. I still enjoy it. I still get a lot from the game. And, you know, some people have helped me with that. You know, that's not just because I'm a content creator, and it's not just because of the game itself either. You know, it's actually because I've learned to play the game in a slightly different way. What I'm actually doing now is I'm putting little projects. I'm doing little side projects. You know, I'm not going to show it too much, but I've got like a little bit of paper here. And what I've actually got, and I have that on my, you know, on my desk every single day. And what that does, it actually just shows on there, you know, what I'm working towards next. So it might say, you know, max out Silent Spectre is the last one that I did. Then it might say, you know, max up X hero, which is why I'm not jumping on the heroes as quick as, say, you know, A1 get this money. You know, when the heroes come out, it's there. Split screen, when the news comes out, straight away there. And it's kind of like the reason I'm probably being a little bit slower, like the Candy Corn LMG today, for example, the reason I was a little bit slower on that was simply because I'm playing the game a little bit more. I'm enjoying the game a little bit more. The last couple of days, I've only put one video out a day. Now, today's 2 videos because I kind of wanted to get behind Magist and kind of just say, you know, stick with the community. You're in the harshest part of Fortnite Save the World. That includes in-game. That includes all the social media platforms that are out there. Magyst is in the hardest, the most difficult, the toughest part of the game. You know, he's the front man for the subreddit, you know, and I've got to take my hat off to that a little bit. You know, you've got to kind of respect what he's doing there. And all right, he's done a little outburst. You know, people, I've seen some people say that's unprofessional and everything else, but I don't think it is. It shows me that he's a real person. It shows me that Magyst is, you know, he cares about the game and he cares about the community. I just think the line was a little bit sad when he said, sadly, I fear this will never happen. I think it will. I think it will. I think when the game goes free to play, you're going to get a lot more players. And do you know what? As creators, as, you know, Epic Games staff, and as developers, and, you know, and people who actually work for Epic, you choose who you listen to. You got to remember that. And I think sometimes Reddit's kind of thinking, well, we're Reddit, you know, we're powerful, we make things happen. And if we get angry enough, it's going to happen. And you know what? No, there could come a time when the devs disconnect, you know, because if you put a lot of hate towards a dev, and I've seen this in countless other games, if you put enough hate towards a developer or even to a person, they're going to disconnect from you. You know, it's like, you have to kind of build relationships. You know, you have to work together with things. You know, be that in a loving relationship, in a personal relationship, or be that in a work relationship, or be that in a relationship like this. All relationships take a little bit of work, and I think we need to learn to get a little bit more constructive. And that's not just me. You know, that's not just Reddit. That's as a whole. You know, the whole Save the World community kind of needs to get a little bit more constructive and a little less more, not even critical, a little bit less toxic. Really, is the only way that I can put it. That's down to you. Not everyone's going to agree with what I'm saying. You know, people like to bash on the game. You know, I was a board level manager, you know, for quite a big insurance company for a lot of years, and I looked after the call center for quite a long, you know, a big period of that. And what you will find is during that time, a lot of people just like to complain. You'll find some people who you will never please. I've just recently, for you that follow me on Twitter, you'll see I'm watching Steve Carell in The Office. I've never seen the US version of The Office, so I've just started it. I'm on to like halfway through season 3, so no spoilers. But one thing that I have noticed on there is that what Michael actually does in that, you know, the main character, Michael, the boss, he tries to please everybody, and that is fatal. You're never going to do that. You're just not going to please everyone, as much as it would be great to do. And you learn that as a creator. I've only recently learned that, you know, you just can't. It's just impossible, and you're always going to get people who hate, you know, they play the game, but they will just bash and bash and bash, and they're the most outspoken people. And, you know, there's a lot of people quietly who never comment, who never go onto Reddit, they never post anything on Twitter or the Facebook. They're just quietly playing the game at home, and they're loving every second of it. And I think Majesty's got to remember that those people are out there. It's just unfortunate sometimes that you know, the community's not always behind him. They're not going to be. You know, hopefully he's just going to realize that the community's not always going to be behind it, but it's not personal to you. One thing that just stands out, and this is where I'm going to end, because I could talk about this for hours, honestly I could. But one thing that he says on there is, sadly I fear this will never happen again. I could literally tell everyone what would be coming down the pipeline. Now he said I could literally tell everyone. Now he could be taking that too personally. You know, it is his job to tell everyone, but you know, a lot of the venting isn't at Magist. They're just trying to, they feel that if they yell at Magist enough, he's going to get the point to Epic, and he's not. You know, Majesty's not a go-between. He doesn't decide what happens. He's just the front man. He's a community. I said just, you know, it's still a great job. We all want that job, right? But it's just he's the community manager, if you like, for the subreddit. But players will still find something to pick apart and vent about. True, we've just said that. Absolutely, they will. This has been proven time and time again, regardless of what gets released. That's the game, dude. That's just how it is. And all that, you know, I've got a huge amount of respect for Magist. As I said, I think he's got the toughest job in Fortnite Save the World by an absolute mile. You know, I take my hat off to you guys. You know, it's kind of, I don't know how you've stuck it out for so long, but I hope he does stay. Majesty is a great member of the community. And again, just to reiterate what Ranger Carbide said, let's try and keep this criticism, you know, untoxic. I think the criticism's good. I think it's healthy. And there's some brilliant points on Reddit. I love it. You know, my channel wouldn't be where it is without Reddit, because although some of the criticism's not been put in the nicest possible way, you know, it's helped my channel along massively. And I am going to do a separate video, you know, about that. You know, I'm speaking with a friend, actually, someone from the Discord, and we've been chatting a lot about this. So I'm going to put another video out regarding this and ways to get more fun out of the game, and by changing your viewpoint on the game. All right, guys, so that's all we've got time for. Just please, you know, let's drive this game forward together. We've got to remember, at the core of all this, at the core of all the drama, at the core of all the bugs, we've still got a great game here, you know, one that I'm still enjoying playing. You know, it's still great. It's one that I'm going to, you know, spend a lot of time on. I'm bouncing on the new chair. You win, for those of you that haven't seen it. You know, but I'm having a great time here. It's been absolutely phenomenal. And, you know, and it's thanks to you guys. The community as a whole has just been phenomenal. For me, 2018 has just been incredible. And I cannot thank you guys enough. I can't even stop smiling when I talk about it, because it's just such a great journey. And I can do this daily now thanks to you guys, you know, thanks to the Patreons, thanks to the channel sponsors, thanks to the, you know, you guys who comment each time. It's just been a magical journey. But, you know, let's get behind these people. Let's get behind Magist. Let's get behind the other Fortnite Save the World creators as well. You know, and let's pull them back in. You know, Epic need to give something more to the game. Yes, they do. You know, there's a lot of criticism that can go out there. But, you know, occasionally, just every now and again, you know, just tell these people that they're doing a great job. It doesn't have to be me, you know, I'm not saying me, but, you know, like Magist, for example. There's a post right now on there, someone saying, oh, I feel sorry for Magist, and there's a lot of nice posts on there. I'm certain he will see that, and hopefully that's going to lift his day up a little bit. Be the nice guy, because sometimes that gets things done too. There's two ways to approach, you know, a situation, sometimes multiple ways to approach a situation, and, you know, getting behind the team and getting behind the people who are making the game is just, you know, just seems to make sense to me. Guys, massive thanks for watching. If you're not part of the Latana army already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to drop a like as you leave. You know, be the nice guy. And I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching today, guys.